Picture this for a moment. It's the end of a long day. Your knees ache a little, your back is tired, and the last thing you feel like doing is chopping vegetables and standing over a hot stove. So you open the pantry, reach for a can of soup, maybe some spaghetti and tomato sauce or a tin of corned beef. You think to yourself, it's quick, it's cheap, and it fills me up. How bad can it be? Here's the thing. For people over 60, some canned foods aren't just unhelpful. They can quietly push your blood pressure up, stiffen your joints, upset your stomach, and even affect your brain over time. And when you're trying to stay independent, keep driving, enjoy walks, and chase the grandkids, every little choice adds up. The good news? Once you know which cans to avoid and what to choose instead, you can keep the convenience without sacrificing your health. Stick with me until the end and tell me in the comments, which canned food do you rely on most at home right now? Why certain canned foods hit harder after 60? As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to things like salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. Our kidneys don't clear salt as well, so sodium builds up and raises blood pressure. Our blood vessels become a bit stiffer, so heavy salt and fat can strain the heart. Our joints feel more inflamed, so processed foods can make aches and stiffness worse. Our blood sugar control can weaken, so sugary foods hit harder and faster. That's why the same canned soup you ate in your 30s might now leave you more swollen, more tired, or with a pounding head. Let's go through the 8 worst canned foods for seniors, and then I'll show you safer swaps you can put in your trolley next time you're at Walmart, Tesco, or Kohl's. Canned food. Number 1. Salty canned soups. Let's start with one of the most common, canned soup. Tomato soup, chicken noodle, and vegetable beef. They seem like gentle comfort foods, especially on a cold day in Ohio, Yorkshire, or Melbourne. However, many popular brands contain 600, 800, or even over 1,000 milligrams of sodium in a single can. For many seniors, that's half or more of their entire daily sodium limit in just one meal. What does that do to your body? It pulls extra water into your bloodstream, which raises your blood pressure. It makes your ankles and fingers swell so your shoes feel tight and your rings are hard to remove. It can leave you feeling heavy, tired, and short of breath, especially if you already have heart or kidney issues. If you've ever felt more puffy or noticed a headache after a simple bowl of soup, the salt may be part of the story. Better options? Look for labels that say low sodium, reduced salt, or no added salt. Use a low-salt boxed broth and add your own frozen vegetables, beans, and herbs. When you must use a salty soup, try using half a can and stretching it with extra water and vegetables. If you're already thinking, I need to check the labels in my pantry, tap like on this video. It tells the YouTube algorithm, show this to more seniors who need it. Canned food. Number 2, canned corned beef and processed meats. Next up, canned corned beef and other processed canned meats. These are very popular in many homes, on toast for breakfast, in sandwiches at lunch, or fried up with potatoes for dinner. They're familiar, they keep for ages, and they feel hearty. But inside the can, you often get very high saturated fat, which thickens and clogs arteries over time. Huge amounts of salt, again stressing your heart and blood pressure. Preservatives like nitrites, which are linked with higher risks of bowel and stomach problems when eaten often. For seniors, that combination means more inflammation in the body. Your knees, hips, and fingers feel stiffer and more painful. Extra pressure on the heart and circulation, making you tire faster when walking or climbing stairs. Possible troubles with digestion, including reflux and bloating. If you love that salty, savory taste, you don't have to give it up completely. You can. Swap canned corned beef for lean, freshly cooked beef, sliced turkey, or chicken. Use beans, chickpeas, or lentils as the hearty part of soups and stews instead of canned meat. Reserve corned beef for rare occasions, not every week. When you reduce your consumption of processed meats, many people notice lighter joints, improved energy, and easier digestion within just a few weeks. Label reading for seniors. Simple trick. Before we proceed, let me share a simple trick for reading labels if the print appears too small or confusing. When you pick up a can, look for just 3 things. Sodium, salt, aim for under about 400 milliliters per serving if you can. Sugar, especially for fruits and sauces. Watch for words like syrup. Ingredients list. If it's full of words you can't pronounce, it's usually more processed. You don't have to be perfect. Just choosing the less bad option on the shelf week after week significantly reduces your intake of salt and sugar. Canned food. Number 3, fruit in heavy syrup. Now let's talk about something that sounds healthy. Canned fruit in heavy syrup. Peaches, pears, fruit salad. They look colorful and refreshing, but when they're packed in heavy syrup, that thick liquid is basically liquid sugar. What does that mean for seniors? Huge blood sugar spikes, which are dangerous if you have diabetes or prediabetes. More belly fat and weight gain around the middle, which raises heart risk. Extra pressure on your arteries and nerves, affecting circulation and even memory over time. Many people think, at least I'm eating fruit, not cake. But a bowl of peaches in heavy syrup can sometimes contain as much sugar as a dessert. Better options. Look for cans labeled in 100% juice or no added sugar. Drain and rinse the fruit lightly under water to remove extra sugar. Whenever possible, choose fresh fruit or frozen fruit with no sugar added. If you enjoy fruit on yogurt or cereal in the morning, switching from heavy syrup to fruit juice is a simple yet powerful change. Canned food. Number 4. Canned spaghetti and pasta meals. Number 4 is a childhood favorite in many homes, canned spaghetti and tinned pasta meals. In the UK, it might be spaghetti hoops on toast. In the US, canned ravioli. In Australia, similar tins show up in the pantry for an easy dinner. The problem? Most of these are made with refined white pasta that raises blood sugar quickly, packed in a sauce loaded with added sugar and salt, often low in real vegetables or protein so they don't keep you full for long. You might notice that. You feel sleepy and heavy after eating them. Your joints feel stiff, especially the next morning. You're hungry again just a couple of hours later, leading to more snacking. Better options: cook whole grain pasta and top it with tinned tomatoes with no added salt, a splash of olive oil, and herbs. Add a handful of frozen vegetables and some beans or grilled chicken. Make extra and store leftovers in the fridge for another meal. Quick pause here. If any of these foods are starting to sound like your pantry, don't feel guilty. You're not alone. Hit subscribe and turn on the little bell so you can keep learning small, doable changes every week. Canned food. Number 5. Canned meatballs and sausages. Next, let's look at canned meatballs and sausages. They promise a complete meal in a can, often with gravy or tomato sauce. But inside, you usually find mechanically processed meat with fillers instead of real, lean cuts. Large amounts of unhealthy fats, which burden your arteries and heart. Heavy salt and preservatives, again feeding inflammation. For seniors, that often means more heartburn and indigestion after meals. Nighttime discomfort, making sleep harder. Long-term strain on the heart and circulation. Better options. Make a batch of homemade turkey or chicken meatballs, freeze them, and reheat as needed. Use beans, lentils, or tofu as protein stars in stews and pasta dishes. If you do buy ready-made, look for chilled options with short ingredient lists, not canned. Many older adults are surprised by how much better their digestion feels when they reduce their intake of canned meats. Canned food. Number 6. Canned chili and heavy stews. Canned chili and thick stews can feel like a cozy, hearty dinner, especially on a cold night. But most canned versions are very high in salt, again pushing blood pressure up. Loaded with saturated fat from cheap cuts of meat, sometimes containing trans fats and extra additives to keep the texture and flavor. If you're trying to protect your heart or manage heart failure, these heavy, salty meals can quickly undo your efforts. Better options. Make a big pot of homemade chili with lean ground turkey or extra beans, tomatoes, onions, and spices. Freeze it in small containers so you still get grab and heat convenience. If you must buy canned, choose brands labeled low sodium, reduced salt, and lower fat, and add extra beans and vegetables to dilute the richness. If you're still here with me, you're serious about your health, and I'm proud of you. Tell me in the comments, which one of these canned meals did you grow up with? Canned food. Number 7. High mercury. Canned fish and salty brine. Now, fish can be fantastic for seniors, especially oily fish like salmon or sardines, which are rich in omega-3 fats that support the heart and brain. But not all canned fish is equal. Some types of canned tuna, for example, may contain higher levels of mercury. When consumed excessively, mercury can impact your nervous system and memory. Additionally, many tins are packed in salty brine instead of water or olive oil, which contributes to your daily sodium intake. Better options. Choose canned salmon or sardines more often than tuna, especially if you eat them regularly. Look for fish packed in water or olive oil, not brine. If tuna is your favorite, enjoy it less often and mix it with celery, onion, and plain yogurt instead of salty, sugary sauces. By being selective, you can still get the benefits of fish without the extra salt and mercury risk. Canned food, variate, salty canned vegetables, and BPA. Finally, let's talk about canned vegetables. Veggies are important. They give you fiber, vitamins, and minerals. But many canned vegetables come with two issues: high salt, often added to preserve color and texture. Older-style can linings that may still contain chemicals like BPA in some regions, which are linked with hormonal and cardiovascular concerns. Seniors, especially seniors trying to protect their heart health and bone strength, should avoid canned vegetables with added salt. Vegetables like these aren't ideal. Better options: buy frozen vegetables, peas, mixed veg, spinach, broccoli. They're picked at their peak and usually have no added salt. If you use canned, choose labels that say no salt added and BPA-free can when possible. Rinse canned vegetables under water before cooking to wash off some of the salt. You still get the convenience, but with less pressure on your heart and kidneys. How to build a safer senior pantry. So what should your pantry look like instead? Here are some smart staples: no salt or low salt canned beans, black beans, chickpeas, kidney beans. Canned tomatoes with no added salt or sugar. Canned fish like salmon or sardines in water or olive oil. Frozen vegetables and fruits with no added sugar or sauces. Whole grains like oats, brown rice, and whole wheat pasta. With these on hand, you can still prepare quick, affordable meals that support your heart, joints, and brain, rather than working against them. Let's quickly recap the 8 worst canned foods seniors should avoid or cut back on. Salty canned soups. Canned corned beef and processed meats. Fruit in heavy syrup. Canned spaghetti and pasta meals. Canned meatballs and sausages. Canned chili and heavy stews. High mercury canned fish and salty brine. Salty canned vegetables in older style cans. By swapping even a few of these for lower salt, lower sugar, and less processed options, you protect your heart, support your joints, ease your digestion, and give your brain a better chance to stay sharp. Imagine opening your pantry and knowing that almost everything inside is actually helping you live longer, move more easily, and feel clearer, not quietly pulling you in the wrong direction. If you learned something today, please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of our Healthy Eating After 60 series. And I'd love to hear from you. Which canned food are you going to check or throw out first? Tell me in the comments. Next time, we'll talk about 5 pantry foods that actually protect your heart after 60. You won't want to miss it.